What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So in this video, I did want to start this one off with a question. Do you think the big update in Motorfest is too far away? Now, we all do know right now that we obviously want them to cook it and make sure, the update's actually going to be great. That way it's not going to be undercooked and then, of course, Gordon Ramsay is angry. We do not want that, do we? So I do understand that, yes, it does obviously take time to do it. But the thing is, though, do you guys think it's a bit too far away, though? I mean, for one, we're obviously in August at the moment. We then have September and October, and then going into November slightly before we have the big update. We're obviously getting the big map expansion, a few other things being added. We're most likely going to see a lot more stuff in the live stream next month, which I am really excited for to see exactly what they do end up adding. Hopefully they do add something like some daily challenges and maybe fix a lot of the issues going on right now. But here's the thing about that though, wouldn't it be great if we actually got many of the issues that were fixed right now, at least, to fix them right now, instead of waiting until November. There's a lot of players right now having a lot of issues with the custom show, having issues with like playlist challenges not working, and I just feel like having a hotfix within the next 3 months before the big update might actually be a pretty smart move. And the reason why I do say that though is I really think they should actually get the playlist challenges fixed before the big update. That way players can actually jump on, get them done, and that way players don't get onto Motorfest if they are a newer player, do some of the challenges and go, bro, I can't even do these challenges to complete this. Like, what am I even playing this for? We all do know a lot of players are obviously leaving the game right now and basically on to the point until the next big update in November. So if they are jumping on, or we have new players getting on the game to actually do the challenges, and they can't even do them, is probably not a great look. Now there's also another part of this though that I would say many players are thinking about, or at least they probably have thought about it. We all do know that after every recent update, something else is becoming broken. I have been noticing many playlist challenges that were never broken before, and many players cannot even do them. Like, for example, guys, how is it that a tire vanity is not working, and a lot of the challenges aren't even showing the car you have to run on them, and then when you actually use the car that I did in these said videos for those challenges, none of them even work. This is something that is a bit concerning because what if in the next update in November, we have even more broken challenges? Not saying that's going to happen, but I'm actually hoping it won't happen because that would obviously be insanely tragic. But if they do end up waiting until November, I really do hope that they actually have a huge update that does drop that fixes all of the playlist issues, and there's not going to be new ones. At least I think everybody's probably hoping for this, including myself. Do you actually think Motorfest is going to keep losing a lot of players until the big update in November? I feel like a lot of players are already leaving the game and not playing it as often. I mean, I have to admit, guys, I don't play the game as much as I used to. Don't get me wrong, I still get on because racing in this game is insanely fun, and I do enjoy still doing the summits and stuff like that, messing around with different cars. But I do feel like a lot of players are like, alright man, I'm kind of like a bit bored of the game, like I want more stuff, want more challenges, we need the new map and stuff like that, which I do understand it, and I do feel like after the big update does come out, many of the players that did end up leaving are most likely going to come back. I do understand that players are probably like, bro, we got 3 months until the next update, I'm going to go play Grand Theft Auto or Need for Speed Heat or Need for Speed Unbound or, basically any other racing game like Assetto Corsa, maybe even Gran Turismo, and then I will come back and revisit Motorfest once the update comes out to see how they actually do it. Whether that's going to be all kinds of new challenges, maybe a summit redo, maybe all kinds of PvP stuff being added, but again, we will hopefully see some of these things everybody is asking for in the live stream in September. And you know what's funny though? This also brings me into the next thing I did want to discuss for a quick second. That is going to be the fact that if we do actually have the 4-month window of every single update coming out, which by the way, it does look like we're going to have the exact same thing, so the big update's in November, the next one is going to be 4 months after that one. Now, I'm not saying this is going to be a terrible design in the fact that if you actually add a ton of stuff to the game, the only issue that's going to come with this is if there is going to be issues with that update. For example, the playlist challenge is being broken. If you actually have to wait 4 months for something like that to be fixed, and then once the next update comes out, there's obviously going to be a few issues possibly that might pop up, that is actually going to be a terrible cycle that you will not be able to stop going through. And an easy fix to this though is maybe a month after the update comes out, they can actually have a hot fix going through some of the issues, and then maybe have another small hotfix a month or so afterwards. That way we're actually seeing the main issues getting fixed instead of waiting months on end to get them. And a big thing here that would most likely help is some communication from the developers to the player base. And then obviously if they were to listen to the player base when they are saying there's problems, we would probably see a lot more things being fixed a lot quicker. And what's kind of crazy about this though is I do feel like a lot of players are in the exact same boat as I am. They all want this game to be great. They want the proper things to actually hit it to make it the best racing game it can be. And I feel like the only way that's going to happen is more communication. This is something I have mentioned in more videos, guys, but the only way to get things fixed is to keep talking about it, having everybody come together, and then boom, we actually get a lot more things fixed like the playlist challenges, because my goodness, that is so dang frustrating. But the biggest thing for me though is I wouldn't necessarily say the big update in Motorfest is too far away, but they should definitely bring us something before the next 3 months. That way players are like, yo, we're getting this, we're getting that. Now I do know we did end up getting that off-road playlist in the beginning of August, which was actually pretty dope. They actually gave us a second one, and I would say we should probably be getting a playlist every single month in at least year 2. That way players are going to be hooked on it, have more stuff to do, and that way be into the game a bit more. We can all agree right now, guys, 100% 1 or 2 playlists every 4 months is just simply not enough stuff to do. Let's be honest, I mean it isn't. Now there's also another thing I did want to ask though, with the big update being farther away, could that hurt the game more? Now there's probably going to be a few sides to this. A lot of players are going to go, well yeah, Blocked, I mean, the updates are too far away. It was like 4 or 5 months before we had the big map expansion. That is a huge window of not that much stuff going on. So yes, it is going to hurt it. The other thing I would say, or at least the other side of this, for at least what I was thinking, is I think it will hurt the game a bit, but I also don't think it will. The reason, we all do know everybody is so dang hyped up for that map expansion that it's not only going to bring new players in, a lot of the old players are definitely going to jump back onto this game. For one of those reasons, we do have the Need for Speed updates coming out, like the Hot Pursuit one that is out, and then we're also going to have the new Test Drive game coming out in the beginning of September, and that game is actually going to run over 2 months until the big map expansion in Motorfest. So I feel like a lot of players will go, okay bro, you know what, I'm going to take a small break from this game, I'll come back to it in November. So I do feel like a lot of players are definitely going to revisit it, which I would say in return is not going to make this game die, or, you know, everyone's saying the game is dead. Sure, the entire player count is dwindling down, but I definitely don't think it is going to be dead. In fact, I would actually say November we're probably going to see a huge influx in players with the new map expansion. Overall though, I would like to know what y'all think about this in the comments below. Do you actually think the big update coming out in Motorfest is a bit too far away, and could it actually hurt the game more?